As a coach and content creator focused around creating improvement-related resources, I've always been scared of providing people with information that is wrong, misleading, or otherwise hindering their process in competitive Splatoon. While I believe the things I say to be helping people in a better direction, I am not a top-level player, and as such, my game knowledge is limited. This is something I have implicitly talked about in a few coaching sessions, but I thought it would make sense to explicitly make a video about this to give a better baseline to my YouTube audience on how to use my, and by extension, any community resources. In the first version of this video, the next section was roughly 3 minutes of talking about what my skill level is. However, after a bunch of responses to a Bluesky thread I made about our community terminology on skill, I realized that there is no quick, satisfying answer to the question, and that it also doesn't matter that much. I do not think that defining one's skill level is valuable for most people in this community. I've always said that an improvement-based perspective is a lot more valuable than a results-oriented one, and that applies here more than ever. We shouldn't think about rank so much as about how we can get better at that skill we're practicing right now. However, as a coach, I understand why people want to know where my advice is coming from, if the opinions and concepts I talk about are based on a perspective of top-level competition, random turf war games, or somewhere in between. I will attempt to answer the question of skill in a quick way so that those who are familiar with the community get a decent idea. But note that it is not a particularly satisfying answer, because there is no way to answer the question well. I am banned from lower-level tournaments such as Low Inc, Minnow Cup, or All for One, and got seeded Looty Division 4 roughly 2 months before this video. As of writing this video, I also don't play this game that much anymore since I prioritize coaching and my responsibilities at Splatoon Stronghold, so my mechanical skill may not be representative of that skill level. My highest X-Rank power is 2500, though I've never pushed it to be as high as it maybe could be, since I think X-Rank should be viewed as practice, not a place to get and brag about high powers. I'd say it's probably still relatively representative. My highest Sandok rank is Platinum, which would put me into the top 30% of people who played Sandok that season. To try to somewhat put these random numbers into perspective, I am not even close to being a top-level player. There are a large number of players that make me look like a fool when playing against them. My knowledge is not coming from a perspective of ultimate authority, it comes from an iteratively optimized, but ultimately incomplete process of getting and testing out more knowledge. However, coaching is more than giving out knowledge about the game. Coaching isn't a lecture, or at least it shouldn't be in my opinion. No one would expect a teacher to be at the same level of understanding of a topic as a professor, but you would expect a teacher to have skills in teaching that topic effectively. Well, at some point, my knowledge of the game will become dangerously incomplete, and I don't think my opinions about what people should do in a given situation would be super valuable to higher level players. I can still give what I believe to be valuable feedback to lower level players. And more importantly, I can still give my perspective on how to learn, how to improve, and how to have a good mindset. And I think that is ultimately the most important lesson I can give in coaching at any skill level. Side note, I don't think coaches need to necessarily be better at the game than the person they are coaching. It is preferable, but there are ways to provide perspectives, especially on how to improve, that don't require a difference in skill. To bring this back to my coaching and the resources I create, please do not view them as ultimate truths, and instead view them as a perspective. While I'd hope most of my opinions to be grounded in somewhat efficient ways of approaching the game, my opinions could be wrong or misleading, and they could be outdated if the video is older. Rethink them, see and try out for yourself if you do or do not agree. Ultimately, improvement is an iterative process by getting or thinking about new concepts, and then trying those concepts in actual games. I can help you get on the right path and teach concepts that might help you, but you need to do the thinking and the practice yourself. Talking about resources, something I'll be doing in future is live streaming coaching sessions on Mondays. Feel free to tune in starting next week Monday, 8 PM CEST. And if you want to get coaching, all you have to do is fill out the Google form in the description.